Nemet/homeless. You wake before sunrise because the ground heats up fast along the riverbank or city edge. You slept on packed earth, reeds, or stone. Your body aches from the hard ground and yesterday's labor. You check the small bundle you own to make sure nothing was taken in the night. Maybe a clay bowl, a scrap of cloth, a knife. Water is your first concern. You walk to the Nile careful of guards and better-off citizens who don't want you lingering. Elitism in ancient Egypt was a fundamental aspect of its hierarchical society. You drink cautiously. Clean clothes are rare. Washing means the river and sunlight. Food is uncertain. You hope for leftover bread, discarded fish heads, or temple distribution if you're allowed to stand in line. Yeah, soup kitchens have been around for over 455 years. Hunger is constant. You plan the day around shade, water, and places where overseers won't chase you away. If you find day labor, it's hauling stone, clearing fields, or carrying goods. Pay is food, or a small measure of grain if anything. Injury is dangerous. There is no safety net. If you get sick, you wait it out or die quietly. As the sun sets, you choose a place to sleep where animals and patrols are less likely to bother you. You curl up light knowing tomorrow starts again with thirst, hunger, and the hope of surviving one more day. Deep poverty. You own a cramped room made from mud and brick. You share with family or other laborers. The floor is dirt, the roof leaks when it rains. You own a mat, a pot, and a few tools. Breakfast is barley bread dipped in water or beer if you have it. You count your grain carefully. Every measure matters. This class mostly worked contract jobs, so you walk to the fields, workshops, or construction sites. Your work changes with the season. Planting, harvesting, hauling stone, digging canals. Some days you're chosen, some days you're not. Payment is grain rations, sometimes delayed. Taxes are collected in food, not coin. Miss a payment and trouble follows. Rather than a bad credit score or harassment from loan sharks, you are more likely to just be stabbed. Healthcare is herbal remedies and prayers. Again, any injury is a death sentence. Clothing is patched again and again. You repair tools instead of replacing them. At night, you sit with family, eat simply, and plan tomorrow's labor. You sleep knowing one injury, one bad harvest, could push you into starvation or worse. Neme/working poor. You wake early in a modest home near the fields or workshops. You're a permanent laborer, not enslaved, but not secure. Breakfast is bread, onions, and beer. You have a steady role, farmhand, dock worker, quarry laborer, or assistant craftsman. You report to an overseer who tracks attendance closely. Missing a day means lost rations. The work is long and physical. The sun is relentless. Breaks are short. At midday you eat what you brought. You think about tomorrow's work, next month's taxes, the condition of your sandals. At home you mend clothing and tools by lamplight. You sleep tired but thankful for steady rations, hoping nothing interrupts your ability to work. Converted to modern rates, these plebeians would earn around 300 to 400 USD per month, pretty rough. Lower middle class. Over the years, you've saved enough for a solid mud brick house. You have a defined trade. You might be a potter, carpenter, fisherman, or junior scribe. Breakfast is bread, dates, and beer. You own tools that matter. You pay taxes, but you can manage them. You work predictable hours, either producing goods or keeping records for someone wealthier. You know your role. You are respected locally. If something breaks, you can replace it eventually. You save grain for lean seasons. At night, you eat a fuller meal and rest knowing tomorrow is planned. While life wasn't sunshine and rainbows, you would be able to afford a few luxurious, such as a wider medley of food, clean linens, and most importantly, base-level education. Being literate was one of the biggest flexes in the Egyptian Empire. Despite this, you could still be randomly chosen to be a blood sacrifice on the temple steps. Second/middle class, you mortgage a comfortable home with multiple rooms. Your walls are plastered and painted. You're a skilled scribe, administrator, merchant, or successful artisan. You own furniture. You have storage jars filled. Your income is steady. You manage accounts, supervise labor, or trade goods along the river. You don't work with your body all day. You work with the knowledge. In order to rise to this class, you would need to understand the concept of working smarter, not harder. Healthcare is available. Priests and physicians treat you when needed. You plan for festivals months ahead. At night, you read, write, or socialize. Primary pay was grain, not money. For a middle-class worker, you'd get 4 to 8 car of grain per month. One car is approximately 76 liters of grain, roughly 60 to 65 kilograms of grain. So monthly, 300 to 500 kilograms of grain per month. That amount feeds a household, leaves surplus, allows storage for bad years, and signals status and stability. One of the big differences between modern life and old Egypt was the wealth gap. This class could expect to make around 3,000 USD a month, which is significantly lower than the middle class in 2025. But still, you feel stable. Life has margin. Upper middle class. You own a large house with servants. You're a senior scribe, temple official, or prosperous merchant. The house runs on routine. Water is carried for you. Meals are prepared. You oversee others instead of doing the labor yourself. Your net worth is in land, grain stores, and trade connections. You give gifts to temples and officials to maintain favor. Your children are well educated, which was extremely rare. Your name carries weight locally. In Egypt, leisure was a luxury only this class and above had access to. Things like board games, senet, mehen, personal musicians and dancers, and a wide variety of fancy linens, amongst others. You sleep knowing your position is secure if politics stay calm. While not rich by any means, this group would share a similar quality of life with the majority of the Western population today. Comfortable rich/elite. Congratulations, you are officially safe from having your heart offered to the sun god. You wake in an estate near the Nile. Gardens, slaves, guards. You're a noble, high priest, or powerful official. Your wealth comes from land grants, temple income, and royal favor. Food is abundant. Wine replaces beer. You wear fine linen. Your day is meetings, rituals, inspections, and correspondence. A great degree of nepotism was required to be a part of the elite. Rising to this rank was seldom heard of. You influence decisions. Others seek your approval. Illness brings the best physicians. You sponsor temples, festivals, and monuments. At night, music plays. You dine well. You feel set for generations if the court remains favorable. Converted financially, these guys would make about 150,000 USD a year, which doesn't seem like a lot for being so high up the ladder. However, back then, the cost of living was dramatically lower in comparison. Royal court/Iripat. You wake in a palace complex. Servants arrive before sunrise. You're close to the throne. A vizier, royal family member, or high noble. Scribes brief you on grain stores, taxes, labor projects, and omens. Your decisions move thousands of people. You don't worry about survival. You worry about loyalty, rivals, and divine favor. The gods must be appeased. The king must be pleased. You live surrounded by beauty and power, knowing one misstep can cost everything. The best comparison to modern standards would be that of a notable politician. Luxury, undeniable power, but still a degree of caution. If you're enjoying the video so far, you might like my video about each level of wealth in ancient Rome, right up here. Pharaoh. You wake as the living god of Egypt. The palace is already awake. Priests prepare rituals. Officials wait with reports. The Nile's flooding, the granaries, the borders, the gods. All are your responsibility. Your wealth is the land itself. Your word becomes law. You commission monuments meant to last forever. Armies move at your command. Temples rise in your name. You are fed, guarded, and served without question. Your concern is legacy, order versus chaos. How history will remember you. Again, you would have to be born into this position. No amount of social climbing could get you here. and the position was always given to the eldest son if possible. If a time machine was offered to you as a pharaoh, you would wake up in America with around $1 billion in your account. At night, you retire knowing the entire world you know bends around your will and that eternity itself is watching. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you for watching. Let me know which Egyptian class you think you would fall into down below. I post multiple times a week, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as not only does it help me out a ton, but I would also greatly appreciate it. Until next time, never stop learning.